Hello and welcome to the Monkey Nut Punch podcast. Keith done cough until I've at least done the intro.
Sorry.
And as you can tell, I'm here with this major wazzock. Keith, hello Keith.
I can't help it. Hi. I'm just let me die in peace. That's all right. Don't worry. I'll have a drink of water. Sorry about that.
Anyway, he can't be trusted, so I'm just going to put him away for a moment. He can come back on when he's finished coughing. He's finishing over his water. This week, we'll be talking about Fast X, the Silo. Oh, the reviews of Indiana Jones, because they haven't come through very well. And some other bits. Ted Lasso. We had a conversation on Thursday where we planned all this stuff out. And I can't remember a single thing. Has he finished coughing? No, he hasn't finished coughing.
I think you pretty much covered it. Ted Lasso was definitely on there. I've watched a few other things this week, which I can briefly talk about. I've actually watched shit this week. I've had some time on my hands, so I've done some shit. I've watched some shit. So I'm up with the zeitgeist, mate.
The zeitgeist. You're so up with the zeitgeist, you don't realise that the zeitgeist was from the early 2000s.
I'm joking. So what would you like to talk about first, dear chap?
Let's do Fast X first, because I've never in my life seen such a stupid, ridiculous, nonsensical film that has been so much bloody fun.
I would say that Fast 9 was ever so slightly more ridiculous.
I never watched Fast 9
only because of the car in space. Oh, dude, you have to see Fast 9. They put a car in space. I mean, seriously, when he's steering, right, he steers the car in space, and as he steers, right, the thrusters, he drives a car to space, right, and they knock on the Chinese space station thing, like, let us in, This was slightly less ridiculous. That only slightly. That final scene, I loved the line. You made one mistake. You forgot to take away my car. It's like, what's he going to do? Oh, drives down the dam. Oh yeah, because why not?
Which they ruined in the trailers.
Yes, I know. I knew he was going to do that,
and I wish they had. Trailers. I wish they hadn't too. They need to do what they did in Dark Knight, where they don't show anything in the third act. That should be a general rule of trailer making. But let's start off with. So it starts off. They've got a job in Rome. Apparently, they're talking the stuff out. Dom Toretto and Lottie, I can't remember her name now. The actress's name. Are hanging out. Everything seems to be hunky dory, and then Charlize Theron or Cypher turns up at the front door. She turns around and goes, "Oh, some arsehole after you." Yes, in the DeLorean. There's some arsehole after you, and then I don't know if it cuts back or it was before then, where it cuts to the bit where they stole the safe in Brazil. And that, I'll be honest with you, them stealing the safe in Brazil and dragging it through the streets, is the most realistic thing in the entire film.
That was
really is.
So it's gone back to what is now we recognize as like the Fast movies. So it kind of went back to Fast 5, which is the beginning of like the movie where it brought them all together, kind of thing. So we get like that prequel bit. Then we get how Jason Momoa's character fits in. So we get that whole fucking prequel thing. And they kind of quite cleverly folded him in, actually. You can quite believe he was there all the time. It just didn't focus. The camera didn't focus on him. If you go back and watch Fast 5, which I thought was kind of cool. Obviously, we all know what happens in Fast 5. And matey and Jason Momoa ends up in the river. Then you think, and he's sort of like floating there with his eyes closed, and then they do that old cliche thing, but it totally works. His eyes open, blank. Cue the credits, right?
Mm-hmm.
So starts off the movie, and as you said, they're planning a heist in Rome, and what's his face? Who I think his name is Ronan, the one that's the sort of butt of all the comical jokes. He's planned the thing. And of course, he's driving a fucking gold Lamborghini, which is very bling. And the other guy is driving a radio controlled car with a bobblehead of him on it, which I thought was brilliant. And English computer bird that's now got short hair is just there helping. And then we find very quickly it's all a setup.
Yes.
Yeah. You were kind of right about what's her face in this. Resting.
Oh, yeah. Hang on a second. Yeah, this film does something impossible. It makes me forget the law of physics. Makes me forget there's this actual proper suspension on cars. Yeah. And more importantly, made me actually like Brie Larson.
Yeah, I mean, her character's not in it that much in this one.
Maybe that's why I like her that much.
But yeah, her character is likable. I mean, the action is batshit. And I mean, you said last week when we briefly talked about it on the podcast last week, how camp is Jason Momoa. Yeah, especially when he gets when he turns up to the race, right, and he's in that sort of purple fucking silk shirt thing. He goes full nut job. And then the bit where he's talking to the two dead guards on the beach, that was just fucking funny.
Yes.
Totally bollocks up, but very, very funny.
Yeah.
I haven't had this much fun in a movie in a long while, I have to admit.
I always make the joke that in one of the Fast and Furious one with Jason Statham in, he's Ultron from the Avengers.
Yeah.
Because it pretty much playing the part of Ultron in the Avengers: Age of Ultron, but this Jason Momoa is playing the Joker in this one. I really do think
he kind of is.
The best way of describing. He's their version of the Joker.
There is a Joker-esque to him. I mean, even in those Rome scenes, because they basically don't nuke Rome, but they do a damn good job of destroying it. I love the scenes there. You don't really, it's when he gets into the race that he really becomes kind of the Joker, and you get the Joker vibes because he gives him the choice of who he kills, which is obviously same as Dark Knight. It's the same setup. Who you're going to kill, and that was blatantly on purpose. It's there to give you Joker vibes, but you know what? I don't care. I actually think he could play the Joker now. I genuinely do think he could play a version of the Joker. He's certainly doing a much better job than what's his face.
Jared Leto.
But yes, that's the one I mean. Not the previous one. I loved it. I laughed. I laughed at the ridiculous action. I laughed at the comedic bits. When Jason Statham turns up, they refilmed that scene because that scene where a Japanese dude knocks on the door, right? That's a cut scene at the end of Fast 9. Except in Fast 9, he has short hair. But the guy in the bag, the punching bag, the same. The set, the same. Everything in there is the same. Except they've obviously refilmed it because he's changed his hair. But that was great when Statham turns up. I like that. I didn't see what's her face turning up on the submarine at the end. How's she alive? I mean, I know no one dies in Fast and the Furious. I'd be surprised if we don't get a CGI Paul Walker at the end of this. I'm almost willing to bet it that we get a CGI Paul Walker.
I think it's going to be a mysterious car turns up to save Dom Toretto. Yeah. And then you just get a quick glimpse of him in the car as he drives off. Like he's come back from the dead to save him and then goes away.
I mean, every time every movie hints at him. This movie, he's looking after the kids. Fast 9, you see his car turn up at the end and then it cuts. I mean, I like how they still incorporate him in. And they mention him in every movie. And, I loved the fight scene between Cypher and Lani. How long we got? Oh, that gives me enough time. And then she just fucking kicks her ass, which is great. Mr. Nobody's going to turn up at some point, so we're going to get some Kurt Russell back in the second one. Now, Gareth, didn't do this, but if you haven't seen it yet, you go to the cinema. Hint: it's like a Marvel movie. Stay to the end.
Because someone's gone off of Marvel movies. He hates staying to the end to watch his credit sequences. Now it's used to be a treat.
But
now
this
it feels
worth
like
it.
labor.
This was a treat. And explains. You see, I think when they announced this movie, right, they were intending to make 2. And obviously, something's gone on behind the scenes, and they've managed to convince. Now, spoilers, people. If you do not want to hear this, like, turn off for a sec. If you don't want to know what the scene like, but I think they managed to convince. Right, go away. If you don't want to know, go away. Dwayne Johnson to come back, and so we get Hobbs at the end of this, and you get this whole scene with Momoa's character basically threatening Hobbs. Hobbs is back as a cop. He's in his like fucking riot gear. And he's in this theater, and there's all these screens everywhere. Very, again, kind of Joker-esque. All these images of him doing shit over the years from the Fast movies, and then you get that. You get a brief flashback to realize that it's Hobbs that shoots Momoa's dad in the head, and it's like and he says, what's his face led him there. You pulled the trigger, so now it's your turn. And he rips off the helmet because he doesn't know it's Hobbs yet. He rips off his hood, and there's Dwayne Johnson. He goes, bring it on. You're like, yeah, okay. So now I think because they've included Dwayne Johnson, that's why we're now hearing there's going to be a third. So whatever, Vin Diesel, and, I still think that was a load of bullshit. I think that was all a fucking act. But it looks like the two of them have made it up.
You're right. I think it was an act to push Hobbs and Shaw. I thought we got a spin-off. We need to have a story behind why the spin-off's important, why you should be watching the spin-off, because The Rock might not be in Fast and Furious anymore because him and Vin Diesel don't get on, blah blah blah. I think they. I'll be honest with you. I think they do it, and I think they just have a fucking whale of a time. Especially this one, they look like they're just enjoying themselves.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing is like they were all bickering and bitching in Fast 9, and you can kind of see it in places. Whereas in this one, they've obviously sorted out their shit, and they are just genuinely having a lot more fun. And I think we're going to see that in the other movies. I hope to God, although I don't see how they're going to get out of it. I hope they haven't killed Jacob, his brother, because Jacob is the bad guy in Fast 9. By the way, that's his brother. Really?
You mean what's his mush? Yeah. The wrestler.
Yes. Peacemaker.
No, I think no. I think they should kill people and make it more permanent. I think they should literally go through all of them.
I hope they haven't. We haven't had enough of him yet. I really liked his character, and I really I enjoyed it in this. But John Cena, by the way. I loved John Cena's character because John Cena, like Fast 9, it's John Cena as his brother, and he's the bad guy until he's not, right? Because Fast movies. But actually, it kind of makes sense in this one. And I liked seeing the fact that he made it up with his brother, and he was Uncle Jacob, and Uncle Jacob was like, and I love the fucking cheesiness of it all. I love the fact that he's carrying what you think is a surfboard until right at the end, there's some fucking awesome glider thing. I thought that was fucking awesome. But I hope he's not dead. I hope Uncle Jacob makes it through, but I think Jacob's pretty much fucked. I don't think any of them are dead, though. I mean, they're going to get out of it. Somehow, they're going to get out of it. Right? They're going to have, like, all fucking dived out the back of that plane before it's crashed in their cars, I might point out.
Oh, those ones, the ones who are near a car and the car hasn't exploded, killing them, are safe. Yeah? Those ones are safe. Okay? If they're near a car, anyone in the Fast X near a car, and it hasn't exploded in their face, they're pretty much safe because they've already got the escape route. If they were in the plane without the cars, then there'd be a problem.
Yeah. No, but we got to wait 2 years, 2 fucking years, for the next one. It's really annoying. I hope they film the next 2 back to back. If they're going to make 2 more. But look, it doesn't matter how ridiculous these movies are. It doesn't matter how, at the end of the day, right? The story's ridiculous. The movies are ridiculous. but they're likable characters. They're funny. They have some sentiment. They carry a wholesome good thing. There's none of this bullshit about bad dads. Good dads make mistakes. They're not perfect, but they, all in all, good. And then you just have this ridiculously stupid, mental, mind-bending, physics-altering action, and I fucking love it.
Yeah,
I can't get enough of them. I love them.
What I love these. Funny movies. Was they were playing Rocket League in Rome.
Yes.
Have you ever played Rocket League?
Yes.
Just trying to.
Yes, I know exactly what. I know exactly what you're talking about, and they've even admitted that was inspired by Rocket League. So no, I get what you mean. And I loved it. I loved that. I loved the whole damn movie. In many ways, it's better than Fast 9. The only thing I love about Fast 9 is they actually went through with putting a car in space. Gareth, if you don't watch, it's on Netflix now. Go fucking watch Fast 9. It's mental.
I don't know if I can take that. You know what?
Oh no, dude, watch it. You'll love. No, dude, you'll love it. You'll love it. You're sitting there. You will be pissing yourself laughing, right? Because I don't know what it is about the Fast movies, but even you suspend your, sort of ability of, you just buy into them. Go and watch it because it's funny as fuck.
It always gives me the impression of a kid playing with toy cars.
Yeah, but that's what it is.
Yeah. Kid playing with toy cars.
I mean, that's what they are. But you're right. But that's exactly what they are. I mean, and they always carry a good, at the end of the day, the sentiments are in the right place. I liked Helen Mirren's brief appearance, but we need more of her. I wonder if the other brother's going to turn up at some point. Back from the dead kind of thing. Everybody, you never die. You never die in the Fast movies. Not really.
It's weird how you can get away with it in Fast and Furious, but you can't get away with it in Star Wars. Emperor Palpatine. That's the final villain in Fast and Furious. It's Emperor Palpatine. Somehow Emperor Palpatine came back. It's the Fast and the Furious. Don't think about it too much. He's got a car though. It makes the noise of a TIE fighter when he's driving around. It's electric.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I haven't been to the cinema for ages. So to go and see a movie like it's a proper cinema popcorn flick. It's a fast food film. It's a fucking fast food film, and it was awesome.
Yeah, it had Alan Richter in there, the guy who plays Reacher.
Yes,
and it's quite funny because towards the end, they set him up right at the beginning. If you're paying attention, yes, and then towards the end, you understand why he was in the bit at the beginning, and you're like, now everything makes sense because it's weird how they can do that, but other bigger franchises can't. Shall we talk about? Have you heard about the Indiana Jones bits?
I have heard about the leak. If it's true, then it's dreadful. And when it hits the cinemas, bye-bye, Lucasfilm. Bye-bye.
If it hits the cinema, then Kathleen Kennedy's managed to destroy Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Willow. Is there anything else on there? If she just held the duck?
The only thing I will say about this is, right, and this is a call out to these YouTube channels, right? If it turns out to be true, if this leak turns out to be real, right, and it's absolutely true, as most of you are in America, you should all go to fucking California and protest this one. This needs to be public. Don't fucking go off on your YouTube channels about it. Go to Hollywood with a goddamn sign. Make them see. Because if they have done this, if it is true, then they have destroyed the last great action hero, and they need to be told. They need to see it. Not on YouTube. You can ignore YouTube. They should go and stand outside the fucking office, Lucasfilm offices, and bloody protest this shit.
Yeah.
Phoebe Waller-Bridger knocking out Indiana Jones. Fuck off. I mean, just fuck off
just
with this
Phoebe
bullshit.
Waller-Bridges, please fuck off. With the real Phoebe Waller-Bridges, please just fuck off. I would prefer Miranda Hart. Miranda Hart would have made a better companion. She would have been funny at least. She'd have been a comic sidekick. And if you'd have knocked him out, she would have done it. And it wouldn't have been intentional either. It would have just been, oops, sort of thing. Oh, man, it's... Yeah. So,
I mean, if this is true, and I know what I said last week because I hadn't heard this leak, and I didn't like how I don't like how these YouTube channels jump on it and take a shit on it without seeing it, without really putting
right,
some perspective
hang
onto it.
on.
They have done that. They are guilty of that.
Right. You know what? I'll probably be more with them on this one because I'm more in favor. I'm more in favor of probably The Flash being a better film than this one. I put money on it.
Apparently, it's very good. Apparently, people are enjoying it.
It's people are enjoying it and not good, but it feels like an old school Marvel film, pre-Endgame, if that makes any sense. Even a bad Marvel film pre-Endgame is still better than what we're getting at the moment.
Look, if this is true, I've said this before. Disney are dead, and I'm sorry. I know lots of people are going to lose their jobs, and some of you don't deserve it. But as a company, you deserve to burn, Disney. I'm sorry, you just do. You are creatively bankrupt. You're morally bankrupt, and you've destroyed. You've bought this franchise and just destroyed it through absolute incompetence. You do not deserve money. The half these fucking writers on strike. I don't have sympathy for you. You can't write for shit, right? You can't. Your morals are in question. There is so much stuff I watch now going, who are these people? Normal behavior.
Is that me or him? No, it's you, Keith.
This isn't it. What?
Your internet dropped out.
They've just got questionable morals.
Right. So my first thing is right. So you got the time travel story, yeah. And you know what would have been really nice? It would have been really nice is if they just got to the end and they don't know whether this thing they spent all this time chasing it across the world and they don't know if this thing does time travel or not, yeah? Okay. And then it gets to the end and Indiana Jones picks it up, yeah? And he fiddles with it and just disappears like fucking Sam Beckett. Yeah? And he gets to travel through time and see all the historical things that had happened. And he just disappears off. And he gets to go and see those things and understand those things, yeah? And that's it. Yeah? And then at the end of it, one of the characters picks something up and he's left them a note from 1,000 or 100 years ago where he's been time traveling. So he goes off into the sunset and has unlimited adventures, something like that. But it's...
But Disney is incapable of making a movie now where there is just a male hero. Not a male hero who is shouldered by an even more awesome, mind-bending female. Just a male hero, right? There is that, you can't do it anymore, and this is a problem. This is the mindset of so many people. I mean, I had some, what did they call it? Some fucking stupid training session this week where they were talking about positive discrimination. I just turned around and went, positive discrimination is still discrimination. End of. Yeah. It is still discrimination. And I don't give a flying fuck if UK law tells me I have to do this. I am not discriminating. Don't care. I will always employ the best person for the job. I don't care what's between their legs. Right? Yeah. What freaking God that they pray to. They can fucking pray to Satan as long as they can do a damn good job. Well, maybe. But you know what I mean.
Maybe we won't hang around after work and we won't have too many personal conversations.
Dignity at work. That's what they called it. Dignity at work. Fuck. Oh, anyhow, right? Disney Catherine Kennedy.
Entertainment aids. I describe her as cancer. She's slowly eating away at the creativity and bits. All right, right. Try this on for size, Keith. Yeah. If I said that Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi were indie films, and the reason that they're indie films, and it shows that they're indie films, and the fact that they had non-union directors and writers working from who wouldn't go on strike, is because that Lucas knew that he wanted to maintain creative control, because if he handed it over to Fox or whoever it was dealing with it at the time, they would be inserting lots of things that weren't wanted. And I think we can see now what happens when these people, these untalented fucks, get hold of things. It drives me wild, because this is easy money. This is easy. I would have done a trilogy of young Indiana Jones films, and having Harrison Ford, like in the TV series, tell the stories.
I love that TV series. I mean, and that's coming back to Disney Plus, and I'm probably going to watch that because I loved that TV series. It was awesome. And I hate to say this, but it is true. Bob Iger was instrumental in getting that made. Probably the last best thing he ever did. But he was instrumental in getting that made. If these rumors are true, you've got a problem on your hands. I mean, you've already got a problem on your hands. The Cannes Festival wasn't particularly good. If Kathleen Kennedy keeps her job after this, then I don't care what you say, Disney. She's got something on you. One of you's done something.
Yeah, one of you's done something so bad,
and she's holding it back, and she's holding on you to protect herself. Therefore, she's equally as despicable. So fuck them. They should crash and burn. And I have never meant that more than what I mean now. These people are just scum. They are garbage humans. I'm sorry, but you are. The way you behave, the way you are, the way. Just make entertainment. Stop putting your effing politics into it. I don't give a shit about your politics. I don't give a fuck. So
it's right. So what it is I think it comes from as an advisory company that's called HRC, that works in hand with places like Vanguard and BlackRock, who are the ones that they get their funding from. Yeah. If you could do a $200 million film, you need to have $200 million from someone from somewhere. So they give you the $200 million, but with exceptions. We've got to have X, Y, and Z in it. The downside is people like Bud Light have figured that maybe those clauses aren't worth the money that they're offering. Yeah, seriously. I think it's and Target is another company that's similarly fallen afoul, because people have just drawn the line and gone, enough's the fuck enough, people. Really is enough. I'm going to wait for the reviews.
It didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, again. I mean, what were every person that was involved in that advertising campaign for Bud Light deserves to be fired.
Yes.
Because look, Gillette did it. It's not like you were the first to do this. It's not like you were stunning and brave. Gillette did it, and it massively backfired on them. You've already got the proof out there that this shit doesn't work, and yet you continue doing it. Marvel movies have been failing for the last 4 years, yet they continue to make the same shit. They do not learn from their mistakes. They're just making shit movie after shit movie. And we say that Hollywood is a bubble, but it seems to be this impenetrable bubble that they just can't see beyond the end of their fucking noses. That just is incompetence. It is incompetence.
And then we get the writer's strike in there, yeah. And I like it because I was watching the Dark Knight Returns, the animated version. Yeah, and I forgot that in one of the news articles, they turn around, and it's so funny because it's supposed to be set in like the 80s, and they turn around and goes, we're on the 4th year of the writer's strike, and head of the entertainment network, Jimmy Olsen, says it won't affect programming. That's so relevant now. That was written back in the 80s, yeah? And then the thing was done like 10 years ago, and it's relevant like now at this point in time. The reason they don't, the writers going on strike, they're worried about AI, which is a good point, because they're so shit they could get replaced by AI. They've been using AI, haven't they? They've been using AI, lazy bastards. The moment they could get their hands on it, they paid for it and they started using it. And they don't want to be found out, because if the low effort in there, and then they've got an all protection racket where it's like kind of, it goes, if you've got a TV series, you can't just have 4 writers, you have to have like 20 of them, and they have to be scheduled for at least 6 weeks minimum contract. I'm like, get fucked. If I only need 3 writers, I only need 3 writers. It's called lean. Yeah, it's not spending shit that you don't need.
some of these writers, right? Some of these writers, the people that wrote like Reacher, Tony Gilroy, and the lot that wrote Andor, they have a point and they deserve the money because they are actually talented. They can write good stuff, right? And they do and have written good stuff. The people that make shows which are just entertaining pieces or decent pieces of writing, right? They deserve more money, and they are getting fucked over by these streaming revenues, and I believe that. But I have sympathy for a minority of these writers, because there is only a minority of writers working for WAG that have any kind of talent. Kevin Smith, fuck off. You used to be a good writer, then you did He-Man, right? Fuck off. Just fuck off, right? And all the others out there, just fuck off. You don't deserve the money. So it makes it very difficult, but I do have sympathy for a minority of them, because a minority of them can write, but most of them, no.
No. The other thing too is Little Mermaid came out this weekend, which I'm annoyed at because I went to go look at the stuff at the cinema. It's just Little Mermaid for the whole weekend. And I don't want Little Mermaid. I want some other things. Maybe
it's okay. We got Into the Spider-Verse 2 next week, which I am looking forward to. I
don't think it's next week in this country. I think it's the week after in this country.
It's May 31st here. So
it's not May 31st here.
I won't actually see it till the following Tuesday. So I won't see it this Tuesday because it's not out, but I'll see it the following Tuesday. And then we've got The Flash the following in a couple of weeks' time. So that's awesome. And there's a few other movies as well. So I'm not sure I'm that interested in seeing Transformers. I just can't get
right.
That
so
right.
Did you hear about the thing they did in the TV show with the pronouns? Kids cartoon TV show with the pronouns.
No, please tell me they.
What do you think they did? Have a guess. They went down the whole fucking they them. They went down the whole they them route, and I'm just like, they're Transformers because they're robots that transform from one thing to another, not Transformers.
Yep.
So I just and then apparently there's a similar thing in the film. If that's the case, then the film's got as how to be a stupid game and put it. The film's got AIDS.
You know, it's funny. I don't want to really wade into the whole trans debate that much, but the way a lot of these trans people behave, these not the trans people, the trans protesters, the trans campaigners, it's very misogynistic.
Yeah. It's do you know what gets me? It's the fact that they threaten violence and then they perform violence. It's like, oh no, you're doing, oh fuck, just please fuck off. Yeah, just fuck off. I wish I could get you all and put you on one island. Yeah, like the Golga Finchins did with the B-Arc. That's what I want. I want to get a giant spaceship so I can put them on this spaceship and launch them into space. All right? Just launch them into space. The sun. Yeah, all right. Towards the sun. Just launch them into space. And Simpsons did that. With the Save Earth, they send all the annoying people, because you can't engage in civil discourse, which pisses me off. We can't have the conversation because you scream and shout and make stupid fucking comments. Anyway,
let's talk about something more
1st
happy,
of June
I think.
For us. Thursday, 1st of June for us.
Are you getting it the day after? I won't see it, so it is next week for you. But I won't see it until the following. So it'll be 2 shows before I can talk about it. But I am genuinely looking forward to that. I very much enjoyed the first cartoon. I thought it was very good. I know they kind of did a few things like, gender swap, Doc Ock, and a few things like that. But actually, they did it in an entertaining and interesting way.
That's the point of the multiverse thing, is the fact that you can do all this. This stuff, and that's the only time I find it acceptable, is when, oh look, the alternative thing where the lights go red and everyone goes on the red lights sort of thing. Yeah, that's fine. That in that situation, in that context, it's acceptable. Outside, it's not.
The thing is, the reason I like Miles Morales so much is he was created before all this bullshit. Before like race swapping was a thing. No, he was created long before. He has.
No.
Yes, he was. Miles
No,
Morales
he
has been
was
around
the
for a long time.
first. He was the first. He was the acid test, Keith. He was
Are
patient
you
zero.
sure?
Trust
I
me.
thought he was created
Patient
in the early
zero.
90s.
Patient zero.
Are you sure? Are you sure? I thought he was created in the sort of oh shit, was he created in 2011? Ooh, shit,
Yeah.
please tell me he was created.
Patient zero, my friend. Patient zero.
No, bollocks.
Sorry.
I do like his character though. I do like his character because it does have
right. Admittedly, it looks like they put some effort into him as a character, but he's not. He is not. What do you call it? He is not Spider-Man. Spider-Man. Okay. Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Miles Morales is Miles Morales. Okay.
I'm not going to have a full-blown argument with you, but I think they've done a lot more to develop his character, and I think this film. What
they've done is they tried to make his character bigger and greater than Peter Parker. But if you look at all the stuff that's happened with him recently, invisibility, he's got that fucking venom sting thing, the bioelectricity.
Yeah, but he has his. I mean, in the game, Peter is still his mentor, and Peter, at the end of the day, is more mature, and has gone through more. Miles has his own set of tragedies, but he's young. His powers are different, but I don't think he's ever, even if his power, he's never more powerful than Spider-Man. I mean, and the game goes to great lengths to do that. Yes, he has these electro powers and all of this shit, but Peter always, at the end of the day, is the Spider-Man, I think, and I don't think it ever eclipses. They never eclipse Peter Parker. Miles never eclipses him. Certainly in the game, in the movie, that he, in the original Into the Spider-Verse, he never eclipses him. Peter, one of the Peter Parkers sacrifices himself. So I don't know, but I understand why you feel the way you do because of modern sensibility. But this is the one and only character that I quite like. I like the game version of him, and I like the film version of him. I like
the game version of him in his game. Okay, but I want to play I do not want to have Metal Gear Solid 2. Yeah, I do not want to be playing Metal Gear Solid 2 for the next Spider-Man.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah?
You want to play Snake, not the other dude. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I remember that. That annoyed me. It's funny enough. You're right. That is a very good analogy. And I remember at the time getting really annoyed that I wasn't playing Snake. I remember that.
Yeah.
Good analogy. Good analogy.
Yeah. And then
I see your point.
Right. So this is the game. So there's going to the weeds for gaming franchise. But Sony showed off their thing. I'm just going to forward it on here. So we got
Lizard sighted in Queens. Closing in now.
It implies they've extended the map to Queens.
Yeah, you got the surrounding area next to New York, Manhattan Island area. Chuck will tell you about that.
Cover the door. The beast could be anywhere. You have no idea.
So, Venom symbiote, very nice. I want it to be the alien costume, but I don't think it's the alien costume. I really don't think it's the alien costume.
You saw his Spider-Man red, and then he was enveloped by the Venom symbiote. So you saw that just there.
Spider-Man! This whole lizard hunt ends now! Leave Connors alone!
looks really good. That's really good, doesn't it? It looks
Yeah.
really tidy as a game. So going through this bit here, yeah. So and have you played Grand Theft Auto 5? I think it is.
Yeah, I played all of them. Yeah.
You played all of them. You played
Yeah.
5. In 5, you had this thing where you could swap between the characters.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's.
I think that's what they're doing.
But my problem is
I'm not gonna make it in time.
it needs to be 3/4 Spider-Man.
Well, no,
It's
you could in Grand Theft Auto 5, you could play 3/4 of it as the the mob boss Italian guy. You could play it more as the nut bar guy, right? Or you could play it as
no,
the
you
other
had to.
dude,
It gave you the impression. It gave you the impression. It gave you the impression, but you had to play certain characters in order to get through certain missions.
Yeah,
So
okay.
you
In
always
certain missions, you had to play them, but you could play more as your choice of character. Now, I agree with this because there are going to be people out there, Gareth, that are Miles Morales fans, and I get it, and that is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And if they want to play the game as Miles Morales, that's fine. If it gives you the option, fine. You can play as Spider-Man. The other, people who want to play as Miles can play as Miles, and they go, that's fucking awesome. I'm sorry, but I love the fucking flying suit. That is kind of cool.
Do you know the one thing I fucking hate in Spider-Man? It's
What?
the flying suit. It really is. I hate seeing that bit of fucking webbing under his arm, like he's got like spit stains or something. It really grates on me. It really does. I know you're like, oh, I really like it. No, it really grates on me.
I look, I like the character of Miles. I want to play as both characters. I think I'm going to end up preferring to play as Peter in the Venom suit because Venom. But I get it. There are Miles Morales fans out there, and I think the character has earned that. If the game, if they do it right, right, and they might not have, and I understand why you're fearful of it. I get it. If they do it right and they take that Grand Theft Auto 5 model and allow you to play it as either character or even have separate storylines throughout the game. So you play it as Peter Parker, you go through Peter Parker's story, you play it as Miles, you go through Miles Morales. That's 2 games at the price of fucking 1. Awesome. I'm there for that shit. I think that's what they're doing. And that's cool. You got, if you get 2 games for the price of 1, you can't really complain at that. And I think that's what they're doing. I think that's what they're doing. I'm up for that. Look, they know that there's going to be people that think what you think, right? And that's fine. It's perfectly acceptable. So it is an acceptable opinion. You're a Spider-Man fan. You want to play fucking Spider-Man. I get it, right?
Yeah.
I get it. And they're calling it Spider-Man 2. They are calling it Spider-Man 2. I disagree with you that Miles is not a Spider-Man. He is a Spider-Man. He's Spider-Man whether you like it or not.
Change his name. He's Patient Zero now.
But
out of all of them, he's the one they put some fucking effort into, admittedly.
Yes, but I think as the character has earned it. The character has earned the name. The character, unlike a lot of these other characters that they race swap. Yeah. This character has kind of earned it. He lost his dad. He's gone through a lot of suffering. He's gone through suffering like Spider-Man. It's not like he's just, he's black, so we're going to make him a Spider-Man. He's earned that right. That's what I mean. The character has at least earned it, right? It's not like a load of these other fucking characters.
Right, this is the thing that bugs me. I did fast forward to some of the Spider-Man gameplay, yeah? How much more gameplay have we had of Miles Morales than we've had of Spider-Man in this?
Oh, there's a shitload more of Miles. But I think that's because
it's a 1-to-2 ratio. Yeah? Every minute we've got 2 minutes of Miles. This is what's making me worry, Keith.
Well, I have can I pose a different hypothesis here? Can I say maybe they are not showing you all the Spider-Man shit because the Spider-Man shit is the cool shit. So they're not showing you the cool shit because they never fucking show you the cool shit when they do these type of gameplay trailers. They show you a little bit. They show you like a little glimpse. So they're showing us the Miles stuff because we've already seen all the Miles stuff, right? And we're more familiar with Miles at the moment because that was the last game. I think they're holding back all the fucking cool Spider-Man shit like that. Right there. That was perfect timing, by the way. That is cool shit. Because at the end of the fucking day, right, we liked playing as Miles with the electrical shit. We got a kick out of that. We thought that was really cool and everything. But come on, Gareth. They know that no one, the minute you fucking throw Venom into the game, yeah, Miles, you're cool, you're great. You're not Venom. And I think that's what they're doing. I'm not that worried. I'm not that worried about this. Because I think, one, they are doing a model of playing two different games as the two different characters. Kind of makes sense. They have kind of been setting that up. And hinting at that. I think this is an absolutely fucking ginormous game because look, they've expanded the map and look at it. Just fucking look at it. God, it looks so good. Even the water, look, they've got the fucking rage. Oh God, it looks gorgeous. I can't wait for
Who are you
this.
playing as, Keith, in that bit? The really cool bit? Who are you playing as? Miles, okay.
I don't think they're showing you the coolest bits. But look, you know, could be wrong. It is Monday, and I understand why you're worried, and I'm not blaming you for being worried. But they radically expanded the map. And I think they're holding back all the cool Peter Parker bits because Peter Parker's Venom. He's got the Venom suit. So I think you've
got to have Eddie Brock in it.
Yes.
You got Kraven the Hunter in it.
Yes.
It's annoying because I remember Kraven the Hunter from when I read the comic books as a kid in the 80s. Was famous for burying Peter Parker in the alien costume alive. And you got that one where he's bursting out the grave and he goes to kill him after. And now here we go. We get to play thingy, and it doesn't last very long. So it's like, I think it gets past that bridge there and turns the corner, and then it stops. There you go.
I think they're holding it back, Gareth. I think they're holding back the cooler shit. Because he's got the flying suit as well. Oh, that's kind of cool. Sorry, I like that. I think they're holding back stuff. And
the other thing too, this kind of pissed me off because I know that when he got the Venom symbiote on, he would have just shrugged that off. Unless they were sound base, yeah, he would have just shrugged that off. But then again, I'm not even sure if the Venom thing is the same. It's the alien costume is the other thing too. Yeah. It's just a bit too much Miles Morales. I want to see Peter Parker. I want Peter Parker.
I agree that the trailer has more. I agree that the trailer has more Miles Morales. But I think
this isn't trailer. This is gameplay.
Yeah, well, this is a gameplay trailer. And it's only the first mission. This is right at the beginning of the game. This is right at the beginning of the game.
No, this is like end of the first act, maybe, but not right at the beginning.
Yeah, but that was all right. The last
you're gonna have an hour and a half tutorials.
Yeah, right. Hang on. When they launched the original Spider-Man game, right, the gameplay trailer we got was the bit where you take on the geezer in the helicopters and you web swinging, right? That happens in like the first hour or two of the fucking game, right? This is hour 1 or 2 of the game, right? And then you had fucking hours of play after that, right? And all the cool fucking games and twists. Look, these guys have consistently made 2 really fucking good games, right? They have made 2 really good games. The characters have been great. Their voice acting has been great. The stories have been fucking great. I trust them, right? They could fuck it up. They could screw it. They did that slightly with Jedi Survivor. Upset me a lot, right? The ending is kind of cool. But they, Jedi Survivor arguably not as good as the first one, right? So they might.
Who are you playing as?
You have
Keith.
Miles.
Who are you playing as?
You have.
Yeah.
I'm justifying your worriness. Let me finish. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm trying to be a bit more optimistic. I am trying because I love these games. And you know how I try to be optimistic. I was optimistic about Star Wars. I was wrong. I try, but I was right about Picard season 3. Thank you. Just get that in there. So you
Spock's
could be
clock is right twice a day.
right. You could be right.
You
But
can-
there is again.
witty comeback for that one. So
but look, Venom, dude, Venom.
no,
They're doing it.
So if they do it right, Craven's going to push poor Peter to the limit, and he's going to the Venom sim is going to cause him to try and kill him. So it's going to be one of those things. All right, so just hang on a second, right? So Laurie's put this in. It goes. Felt like when chap played Grand Theft Auto and he found a way to get the tank straight away. Lol. I'm just if it works. This is for Laurie. Has been put out. They shouldn't have put out video that. Remember we were talking about it. Okay, so when you're done with this, yeah, go subscribe to Covaction Geronography, and just put no, Chuck, no, just don't. All right, in a comment on any video, because no, it's just not. It's not right. Okay.
Anyway, what was I going to say? We should talk about Ted Lasso.
Yes. Not my episode.
Yeah, it's the final episode next week. Or this week. And we should talk about Silo as well. So let's do Apple TV's thing. Ted first. I loved this episode. Loved it. Loved Roy Kent's moments. Loved the bit where they go into Jamie Tartt's old bedroom. I love how you see that poster of Roy Kent, in Chelsea shirt on the wall. You're like, oh, like that, and then they close the door and there's what's her face. Fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Genuinely great episode. It had everything, redemption, Ted and his mum. Ted's obviously going back to the US. Loved the bit with Beard and Nate the Great at the end. I loved the whole sort of Les Miserables thing, and he was like, "I stole a loaf of meth."
Yes, that was done, and it was the way that, and then Ted had held on to the video that had been there for the first episode, and the reason he held on to it because he felt sorry for Nate because that video made him look really fucking pathetic. And then he shows Coach Beard it. He turns around and goes, "Look, this is what he did," and it's like, okay. And then you have, was this the one with was that last week where they had the board with, the guy
that
running?
Was the week before. That was the
okay.
week before, because this week they're setting him up to fail, because obviously Keely, that's her real name, although I think she's called Keely in this as well. She turns up with the secretary, and Rebecca's door at the end go, "We need your help." So obviously he's gonna, get his comeuppance in this one. Rebecca needs a man, and I don't know. 1 minute I think they're setting her up with one person, then I think they're setting her up with another person. So I don't know who they're going to end up setting her up with, but Rebecca needs happiness. I like that. Roy's back. Roy's back with her. I like that. Some lovely moments. I've
Ted's
infinitely enjoyed. I've enjoyed season 3, certainly the latter end of season 3, much more than season 2. This has been more heartwarming. It's been more of what it should have been. I don't want to see Ted go because I love Ted, but realistically they could continue it without Ted. But Ted is such an integral part of it. But Roy's still my favorite.
Show's named after him, you dopey twat.
Yes, but arguably Ted has not been the central character. No, I would argue that Ted Lasso the show is called Ted Lasso, but Ted has not been the central character this season. It's been much more ensemble this season. You know, a much more of an ensemble piece. You look at the Amsterdam episode. That episode focused on Tar and Roy more than it did on Ted.
You had all your little
yeah,
groups
it did, but it's been much more of an ensemble season. It has not focused purely on Ted. It's been much more on the players. You know, we've had longer episodes. We've had more time focusing on Rebecca. We've had Nate, although I still find Nate acutely painful. But we've had, you know, more of Nate the Great and all of that kind of stuff. So no, I don't think it you know, I know why they're saying the show could go on, because it hasn't focused on Ted as much this season. And I've enjoyed it. I've loved it. I've genuinely enjoyed certainly the last few episodes, and I love Roy Kent. I love Roy Kent. I love him. I genuinely love it.
I like it where he's in the press office, and it's like the guy from The Independent puts his hand up. He goes, "Better Trent." It's not like kind of, because you've got Trent, whatever his mush, following him around. I like. I think you right. So you had Ted's mum in this one. I did appreciate the fact that Ted got to the end and he had a go at her. Yeah. And he had a right go at her. He goes, "Fuck you for this. Fuck you for that." And I'm like, because he needed to do that. But she set up.
No, but what he does is he said he would do a thank you for that and a fuck you for that. And I loved it. I loved the switch. I love the switch between thank you for that, I love you for that, and fuck you for that. I liked the way they switched it, because it was very un-Ted-like, and it was very cathartic. And I loved that scene. I thought that was brilliant. I mean, look, when these guys did these kind of episodes in Scrubs, right? They are my favorite episodes of Scrubs. And I mean, I love Scrubs, still love Scrubs, still watch Scrubs, still... you know, my favorite character in Scrubs was not John Dorian. I liked John Dorian, loved John Dorian, but it was what's his face. It was the cantankerous fucking doctor. That was my favorite character, the one that always had the female names for him. And again, Roy Kent is that in this, and I love Roy Kent because I like these cantankerous bastards. Because there's more comedy there, there's more feeling there, there's more that they can do with those characters, and I've loved Roy's whole story arc. It's been brilliant.
Genuinely brilliant. It's been really good. I liked that Jamie Tart was struggling with going back to Man City.
Yes.
And he
what's
had
going on with his dad?
And he's in recovery.
Because is his dad in recovery? Is that what it was?
His dad's in recovery, yes. He's getting better. It's a happier thing. His dad's in recovery. That's why he was sitting there. You see his dad
very briefly. You see his dad briefly, but I didn't realize that was... I'll have to go back and watch that. Is that recovery? He's in a...
Well, storyline-wise, it doesn't make any sense for it not to be recovery, if that makes any sense. Because he's an alcoholic. And you want happy things. And the happy things mean that the character needs to go to recovery in order for him to get better. So, it's... So that's him in recovery, which is good.
Yeah, I can believe that. I can buy that. If that, I hope you're right, and if that's true, that's awesome.
That way,
that's really cool.
Because that way, it sets him up for the end, and he can come back and he can apologize for being such a dick, and he gets his redemption. Yeah, and then that's the way to tell the nice story. So we've got those bits there being set up. Right, the Trent, what's his mush? Trent Krim, or whatever his name is, the journalist fella.
Trent Krim, he's independent.
Better Trent. That's why they're calling that. He's gonna write a book on it, and it's gonna be like a really kind of nice, heartwarming book. There'll be some horrible bits in there too, but it goes, I didn't dress anything up, I didn't lie, and everyone will, that's where you're gonna get that nice, that kind of flourish to end the series with. That's what he's there for, is to give them that really nice send off. So I'm looking forward to that. It's good. So I'm hoping it all works out at the end. So yeah, Nathan's been forgiven. I like the way they kind of turned up to his place, and then the guy said, "No, you're fired," because his girlfriend turned around and goes, "I can't have him working here," because he doesn't think like everyone else. He just doesn't want to get on with it. It was like always wants to improve things, always wants to make things better. So yeah, I think they got that one. I know it's completely unrealistic that they're going to have that last game of the season, and it's going to be against West Ham, isn't it? It's going to be against West Ham to win the season. Which is weird. It's weird to think that Americans are watching this and they actually they're thinking about English football, which is just bizarre. This has probably done more for English football in the States than anything, even though it's like 10%, shall we say, of what happens in this TV show. It's a lovely TV show. This one's had some bits in it that made me just go no, and some bits in it which just made me go, "This was crap." This has had bad episodes where the previous seasons haven't had bad episodes.
No, but overall, I've actually enjoyed this more than season 2. You're right, but though these last 4 or 5 episodes have really made up for it, and I've forgotten that. I've loved it. I can't wait for the final episode. I'm talking to your directly to your wife. Episode 5 of Silo was much better. I enjoyed it.
She hasn't seen it yet.
I thought
she hasn't seen it yet.
She hasn't seen it.
She's been watching Harry. She's been watching Harry Potter. I'll be honest with you, I only watched the first 20 minutes of it, and I got bored and stopped.
Yeah, no, you just got poor taste.
Poor taste. Oh, hang on a second. No, hang on. If we're going into Silo. Anyway, you get the idea. Works better quickly.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed this. I enjoyed it. We finally got to meet the judge, and she's a complete bitch. The judicial bloke is, bad dude. Really can't. I don't like him anyway, so I'm kind of glad that he's a bad dude. No, I enjoyed it.
And
let's see what happens.
And his terrible internet dropped out there for a moment, and he's go again. Also, your K spot symbols are upside down or back to front. Actually, it's back to front because you've got your camera mirrored.
That's a good point. That's a good point, man. The camera is mirrored this week. Yeah, it's usually on the other way. I really should. Why have I got my camera mirrored? What am I doing?
Because you're Ellen. There you go. I've just been looking at your thing and going, it's mirrored, but there's something not right, and then I realised it was the UK. Do you should have 3 of them? Like it mirrored.
What do you think's better? Mirrored or not mirrored?
This is not good for the podcast listeners.
Never go back to front. Yeah. Yeah, that too.
Sorry. Right. So go back to Silo. So right. It's too slow for me. It's so slow. I'm sorry. It's so slow. It really is. The problem is I've had these stories before, and it doesn't matter how much you dress it up. And it's like, the outside's fine, and it's nanobots or whatever. Of course, whatever. Yeah. I'm just like, for the love of fucking God, can't have robot dinosaurs roaming outside. That'd be so much cooler. Robot dinosaurs, the robots.
What? Look,
much cooler.
All I will tell you is it's not an apocalypse in the way you think it is.
Yeah, I know, because it should be grey goo, but they didn't do that. You don't even know what grey goo is.
No, is that a Fallout thing?
No. It's a doomsday scenario involving nano machines.
Then it is grey goo.
No, it's not grey goo. No, that's not grey goo. The closest you'll get to grey goo is the episode of Stargate Atlantis when they beat the replicators. Fucking nerd. I'm such a nerd. I'm like that. I think I need a fucking crown with King of the Nerds on because I can.
By the way, because you just reminded me, because this is how my brain works. You say you're such a nerd, and I always think you're such a Star Trek nerd because you are a fucking encyclopedia on Star Trek, right? Which has just reminded me of something. Picard season 3 is back in the Nielsen ratings and has been for the last 3 weeks. Seriously, Paramount, make Star Trek Legacy. Fucking seriously. And you know what they've done? Have you seen the Strange New Worlds? There's a new Strange New Worlds trailer, right? Spoilers.
Okay.
New Strange World. Right, and they've bought live action versions of the Lower Decks characters into it. Now, I don't know how they're going to do this because Lower Decks is obviously set way in the fucking future, right? And this is Strange New Worlds, but 2 Lower Decks, including purple hair, are in on this. So fuck Strange New Worlds because I hate Lower Decks, and I'm telling you, Strange New Worlds season 2 is nowhere near going to do as well as Strange New Worlds 1. I hate being right, but I know I'm right because the Picard season 3 effect is going to screw Strange New Worlds. Because people have seen Picard, remembered how good Star Trek was, and go, I want more of that shit. And this is not going to work now. And it's a shame because I like Anson Mount.
What gets me is the lesbian with the lesbian haircut. I was just going to ask a question. Do you think you can go to barbers and go, I want a haircut so I look like a lesbian? Because they do. For some reason, in Hollywood and in the media, they have it. So it's like that.
Well, you see, Hollywood, America, and Hollywood thinks you're stupid. So it has to be obvious. You know, they can't have subtlety in there. You have to know she's a lesbian. What the fuck is that Enterprise flying through, on a planet? And I really don't like that the version of Uhura in this. What the fuck's that all about? I like her, and I do kind of like Erica, even though she's lesbian character, but I don't like Kirk. Kirk is massively miscast, and Kirk was blonder. But look, I mean, this thing's got a budget. What annoys me is this has got a budget, and Picard season 3 had fuck all budget, and it's still better than anything they've done.
Yeah.
It just annoys me. I see this and I'm not excited about it.
No. Hang on. Right.
That's real.
Right. What the fuck is that? What the? This is Spock. I'm not a big fan of stoic characters, because stoic characters can be quite boring unless you do stoic character in front of everyone behind closed doors needs a cuddle. Yeah, that's much more sense. What the fuck is that? I'm sorry, Keith. No.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Yeah, you're right, Steve. I'm with you. I agree with you. I think people watch season 1 of this with rose-tinted glasses. Then they actually got proper Trek. They're going to go back and go, oh, yeah, actually, this is shit. I'm telling you, this is going to happen. And I don't care how many people online go, let's see, fucking and purple hair. What the fuck? How does that work and why? Why do we need this shit? Yeah, I know. I am telling you. I've had this argument with so many people. People have gone, I really liked Strange New Worlds. Oh, I loved season 1 of Strange New Worlds. Yes, you did. I thought it was okay, right? Because it was way better than Discovery. And it was the only Star Trek we had, right? Then Picard season 3 came on. Now go back and watch Strange New Worlds and tell me you still like it in the same way. Because I can guarantee you 50% of you are not going to. Because those rose-tinted glasses are no longer needed because we got proper Trek again.
It's the other thing too. Aren't they in the Picard era for Lower Decks?
Yeah, the beyond the Picard era. It's on the Titan. Yeah.
It's annoying because if they would have, I believe this guy could play the part if he was given the script and the instructions to do so.
But what annoys me is
annoying.
He's dyslexic and he's set up by his god awful sister, and you can no longer have that fucking connection. If he'd never been in Discovery, he would have been okay as a Spock. But dyslexic Spock really annoys me. I
That's how we
actually
like
find that insulting.
That's how we like our characters. Slightly retarded.
Oi! You know, he's having a go at me.
No. That's nothing against dyslexic people, but it is against retarded people. Because that's retarded. That's not. It's not. Spock was supposed to be really good, but he was always held back because he was half human, and that was always that. Nah, fuck you. I'm going to join Starfleet. This seems to be a sensible thing to do.
I think people are going to view this and switch off. I think this. I genuinely think the viewing figures for Strange New Worlds season 2 are going to be low. They're going to start off high and they're going to drop. Right? It's not going to hit the Nielsen rating. It doesn't matter how much Paramount. Let's see what happens at the end of this. I still maintain. I'll be surprised if we get a season 3. They haven't started filming. They're putting the blame on the writers' strike. That's bullshit. That's utter bullshit.
Oh no!
They're using that.
So this. Right, hang on a second. This is my theory behind the writers' strike. The execs want this to go on for as long as possible, and then what they're going to do is they're going to use this to jettison all of their useless writers and all of their useless creatives. Yeah, all the people that are just going to turn around just because apparently if it goes past a certain point, it turns from some kind of interference to force majeure, act of God for some reason. And that's when they can then kill these contracts and not have to worry. If you were doing the writer's strike and you were clever, what you'd do is you stop the writer's strike one day beforehand. Yeah, you do it one day beforehand to cock them up.
I mean, they're saying that season 3 has been written. I don't believe that because you have to have rewrites. I think we will not see a season 3 of Strange New Worlds, and I think we'll get a legacy announcement soon because Paramount know it's going to be cheaper to pay off the actors than make another season of this, and they're going full ahead with season 2, and it's fair enough, right? Season 1 performed okay, performed better than Discovery. It did, right? And it was better than Discovery. And had we not had Picard season 3, or had Picard season 3 been a steaming pile of shit, this would have done very well. Picard season 3 was old school Trek. This isn't going to do very well because, you know, is it what 5 weeks now since Picard season 3 aired, and it's still in the top 10 of streaming shows, and we've had a shitload of streaming shows since then that are quite popular. American-born Chinese, which was okay. We've got Fubar with Arnie back again, which you've got to watch because Arnie comedy. It's quite funny. This Fubar thing with Arnie should have been a sequel to True Lies. If they'd been clever, they would have got the rights to True Lies and made this a sequel to True Lies because it had that connection to the original True Lies. It would have been even better. It would have been even better. But I'm still enjoying it. I'm still enjoying seeing Arnie back doing what Arnie's good at. And he's not too old, and it works completely. But yeah, there you go. Picard season 3, fucking 3rd week now, or will be a 3rd week, and God bless that it is. It's a 3rd week now. That was May 19th. It's 3rd week now. People are watching it because it's really good. And the fact that it's still in the Nielsen top 10, and in 2 weeks' time, Strange New Worlds launches, it says everything. I have never felt more redeemed than all these people. Oh, I love it. Do you still love it? Do you still love Strange New Worlds? Do you? If you're being honest with yourselves, do you? Because I don't think you do.
Yeah, actually. So all right. So hang on. We've got Baxter here. All right. So hello, Baxter.
Hi, buddy.
And the trailer didn't appeal to me.
I can't. Okay, I turned off Fubar after 20 minutes. Fubar, not Fubar. I think you need to give it more than 20 minutes. It gets better. I'm kind of enjoying it. It's not great, but I'm kind of enjoying seeing Arnie back on the screen. But maybe it's not everybody's cup of tea. That's fine. But I'm kind of enjoying it. But
Okay.
you know,
I think
Hang
I
on.
think it's time we wrap this.
what's this one? Is this another? Is that Babster? Is it? How many goddamn
That's
channel
Babster.
YouTube names have you? How many YouTube names have you got, mate?
4. He has
Uh-huh.
4. He has Commander Babster, which is the elite dangerous one. Babster Arcade, which is his like his gameplay one, not gameplay one, is like kind of like videos that he does proper. He has a gameplay one called What Next, and then he has the good old Natter, which is like his podcasting one where he interviews people from the retro gaming community. How's that for a plug, Babster? There you go.
I can see why
And
you
then-
don't like
and
it.
then there's-
I'm.
I was going to say, and then there's Chuck, who videos his wife and puts it on the internet for doing something. So go to his channel and subscribe for his wife's sake and tell him to take the video down. All for his wife's sake, okay?
Anyway, what was I going to say? Yeah, I can see why you don't like it. Watch American Born Chinese. That's pretty good. Yeah, I enjoyed that. Kind of. The ending's good. It's okay on Disney. For a Disney Plus show, it's all right.
Yeah.
So yes. Anyway, we've been going on for a while, and don't you have somewhere to be?
We have gone for a while, but let's just say thank you to the people in the chat. I'm going to say thank you to Chuck. Take the video down of your wife, though, for your wife's sake. All right? Just because, okay? And no dinner and early to bed tonight for Chuck, okay? Laurie, you do that. So we got that there, and then we got Be a Stupid Game. And what Be a Stupid Game does is he streams on Twitch, and every Sunday I bowl in with his size 9s. Yeah, I bowl in with my size 9s, and have to force them to reset the room, which is always funny. We were playing Among Us, but we were playing a certain role where you just run around and just like murder the rest of the crew, which was fun. And they noticed something about my gameplay, because whenever I play a game, I always get caught on bits of scenery. It could be an FPS, it could be a top down, it could be a third person. I always get caught on those things. We did Star Wars right at the beginning. Yeah. We did Star Wars right at the beginning.
Quick, ask about Star Wars. Ask me what?
We did Star Wars.
We've touched on Star Wars. I've completed the game.
Thank you to yes.
Go on.
I say thank you to Steve too.
Yes,
all right.
Cheers. You always make me laugh. Cheers, Steve. Cheers. Yeah, Babster, I've thrown the box somewhere. I'm on to Zelda now, so I'm going to lose a year. I'm going to lose a year. I've dusted off the Switch and I'm back to playing Zelda. So far I'm enjoying it, but it's huge. Anyway,
it's time to say goodbye.
Yes.
So just remember, Covaction for your travel vlogs, Babster for your retro gaming, Be a Stupid Game for your live gaming, and for your gaming news, come to Gaming Face Punch. And if you want, go and visit Keith's channel and just write poo under a comment under each one of his videos. If you can do that for me, yeah, just write the word poo. Okay, just poo. I'm going to go and do that shortly after this. So you can see me where I've written poo under each one of his comments. He'll be so grateful, won't you, Keith? All right.
Oh yeah.
And there we're going to say goodbye. Goodbye from me.
See you.
And
Bye,
we'll
guys.
see you next week. Bye bye.